Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here, coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede. By the way, as we come to you from Corelli's right here Monday nights with Buffs Primetime from 7 until 8 o'clock. Talking a lot of basketball. Toriana Towns, assistant coach for the CU women. They continue to roll. They're at home this week. The CU men drop a game at Utah. Get ready for the Arizona schools. We're talking with Tad Boyle and reserve guard Javon Ruffin. Also, very good golfer for the Buffaloes, Tucker Clark, after a school record 63 last week in California. We're going to talk with him as well. All this week at the Buffalo Stampede.
Sherrod waiting for teammates in black and gold. Inside Devon Lay, double team comes and it doesn't matter. Wow, that was tough.
Yeah, that pass made it through on point.
Lay gets it to Sherrod. Shot clock getting low. Sherrod recognizes and fires. Oh, what a dagger from the super senior Sherrod.
Well, the Colorado women's basketball team continues to roll. They had a tight one, though, late last week on the road against the Cougars of Washington State. Hi, everybody. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. We're out here at Corelli's Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. We've got Buffs Prime Time on the Colorado Basketball Network. And this week, assistant coach Toriana Towns joined us, pinch hitting for head coach J.R. Payne. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud. Boy, 2 weeks in a row. I mean, that's a lot of road time in college basketball. You don't see that very often.
It definitely is, and you know, our young ladies have really handled it with grace, and we're starting off school as well, the second semester. So it's been a rough go. We've been battling a little illness as well over the last 2 weeks, and you know, but we just had things really clicked and came together for us in the Washingtons, and had a great weekend.
The offense seemed from Friday to Sunday. There was a heck of a bump offensively. I mean, the ball was moving, the ball was going in. Frito ends up with 8 or 9 assists. That was all said and done. What happened to that 48 hours in between those two games?
Well, I think we left our offensive luggage, you know, here in Boulder. We got to Pullman, but they sent it to us in Seattle. Right. So, no, it was you know, it was really good for us. I mean, you know, I think we were able to sort some things out, you know, in Pullman, and just it was awesome for the kids just to come together and just. You know, I think we were just trying too hard for the past couple weeks and got a little bit out of rhythm and out of sync. And, you know, but we sort of found ourselves again, you know, at Washington, and you know, that was the result.
Since this is the first time we've had you on, as impressive as this team has been so far,
sure,
as you're coaching the squad, what impresses you about this group?
Boy, it's you know, they're amazing, an amazing group to coach. They're very seasoned and mature. You know, our 2 transfers this year really added some maturity and experience to our lineup. And then I think coming off of last year's Sweet 16 run, it just really feels like we've got a ball club that is, you know, sort of found themselves a little bit and, you know, a little bit more assured of ourselves as a ball club, and the result is, you know, taking place on the court.
You know, when you're involved in college athletics, and, you know, every year the athletes are the same age, right? They're 18 to 22 years old, that kind of thing. When you get a special one that comes around, and Jalen, watching her during her career, she's got the chip, she's got the belief, she's grown as a player. That's a special combination she had. There's a tenacity about her that you don't teach, you don't coach.
Definitely. I mean, she's you know, she's a 1%er, and she's you know, and that's part of the way that she was raised, and she you know, she grew up that way, and it was something that we recognized in her early, and she's just really, you know, she's had an incredible career because of it. Yeah.
Does this team, you know, here you're one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Yeah.
And I was on a show the other day, and somebody asked me about it, and I said, well, this team has got to the point now where if it's not the Final Four, it's going to be extremely disappointing for itself.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Is this team got that swagger?
You know what? You know what's funny? Because I think we've got a humble confidence about us, and you know, we were talking about that with a couple of our players. we were, I think, at Oregon State, and we're looking up in the stands. We're like, gosh, there's a lot of people here. And we're like, yeah, they're here to see the number 4 team in the country.
That's right.
And the kids are like, wait, what? Like who? You? You guys?
You're the ones.
And you're the ones. And,
Yeah.
and so, so I think we're certainly very, we're very humble, and our kids just want to get better every day. And I think if we're better tomorrow than we were yesterday, then I think we've accomplished something. So, and wherever that leads us, it leads us. And it takes a lot of luck, at this
Sure.
stage of the season, and
It
you got to
does.
stay healthy. But yeah, it's a fun group to coach, and I just hope we continue to get better.
You want to get better, but do you internally talk about March, talk about the tournament, talk about what the goals are down the road, or do you not talk about that?
Not one bit.
Sure.
So, I mean,
You're talking about Oregon right now.
We're honestly,
Okay.
that's it. I mean, JR, she has, early on in the season, she talks to our kids about, being where your feet are, and just really being present in the moment, and just, really enjoying where we are, and trying to get better today. And I think that's, that's been our mantra for some time. And so we're just trying to be present. And we're focused on the Oregons and nothing beyond that, honestly.
So when you're at home with JR, how much conversation is kids and taking the garbage out, and how much is basketball? What happens there?
Well, the kids dominate the conversations.
I thought they probably do.
I don't know if we can get a word in edgewise, and we're on such different schedules. Like I'm a night owl, so I'm ready to talk basketball. So if any of you want to talk basketball at midnight, I'm up. You can find me.
Give them a call.
Give me a call. And JR's usually the one that's an early riser. So no, honestly, when we're at home, it's a little bit of everything, but the kids dominate it for sure.
I don't doubt that a bit. Assistant coach for the number 4 ranked CU women's basketball team, Toriana Towns, joining us here at Corelli's, where you have Buffs primetime Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. Coming up next here in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking men's hoops. They get ready for the Arizona schools coming to town. We'll talk with head coach Tad Boyle next. Left wing, drives against Manson, paint, jump pass right side. KJ open for 3, right between the eyes from downtown. 66-60. KJ up court. Stop and go against Carlson. Step back 3 on the way. Right between the eyes from downtown. KJ's working his magic, and it's a 3-point game with 57 seconds remaining. Well, a tough road loss for the CU men. They had a ferocious comeback at the end of the game at the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City. Could not get over the hump. End up dropping that game to the rival Utes. Back in the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. Here at Corelli's, Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock right here for Bus Prime Time. And we hooked up with head coach Tad Boyle talking men's basketball. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. All right, what's your postscript on Utah?
Disappointing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, it was certainly a winnable game. We knew that going into it. It was obviously it was a tough week of practice for us. We lost 3 guys to injury in 1 week, and we really only practiced twice. We gave them Sunday and Monday off. Practiced hard on Tuesday. Luke O'Brien twists an ankle. Took Wednesday off. Came back on Thursday. Had a good practice on Thursday, and Cody took an elbow to the eye, and then Bangot Dak got a rebound and fell on his tailbone and bruised that. Took a nasty fall. So lost 2 more that day, and then practiced light on Friday and went to Utah and came up a little bit short. So it was just one of those weeks. People are like, "What are you doing in practice?" It's just they're just basketball plays. It just happens. It's interesting how each year is a little bit different. But I was disappointed with Saturday, and Mark, I really believe this. Like I just as you go back and you watch film and you self-reflect on how your team's playing, I'm just I got to do a better job. I got to do a better job with our guys, getting them, whether it's mentally ready, whether it's physically ready, whatever the case may be. Right now we are. I love the old Bill Belichick line. You are what your record says you are. Yep. And we're 6-5 in the Pac-12, and 6-5 is the epitome of mediocrity. And that's who we are. That's what we are right now. But that doesn't mean that's where we need to end up. And how do we get out of that? How do we get out of that mediocrity to turn those tough losses into wins. And the way you do that is by getting back to what you do well. And this is a team that offensively has a lot of talent. We've shown that. We've proven that. But defensively, I always say we're interested in being good defenders, but we're not committed to it. And until we commit to it, it's kind of like, I'm interested in losing some weight, but I'm not committed to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Show of hands, who also is in that?
I'm in that category.
Pretty much
right?
everybody here. Yeah.
And I actually use that analogy. Rick Ray on our staff, who's an unbelievable guy, like he's
dropped a bunch of weight.
He's lost 40 pounds since he got here.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't know he had 40 to lose. He looks great. But I said, Coach Ray's committed to losing weight. I'm interested in it. So that's the difference.
Does that resonate with a 19-year-old, though?
I don't know. Yeah, we had a couple guys chuckling in the front row.
Okay.
So at least they got a sense of humor. But it's the truth.
Yes.
Like, it's that you have to be committed to it. We're interested in it. We'll do it when we feel like it, but we got to be committed as a group to it. And when we do, we can turn this thing around. There's no doubt about it.
You and I talked about it in the postgame on Saturday after the game there at the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
The last 5 minutes, all of a sudden, there became urgency in that game, right? And the defensive intensity picked up, and the ball movement picked up, and shots started going in. And you wonder, and you probably wonder more than the rest of us, where does that come from all of a sudden? It just comes out of the ether.
Our guys are competitive. There's no doubt about that. And I again, that's where the self-reflection comes in. Because I when I got home that night, when we land, you go to your car and go home, and we take the bus and come to Boulder, and I got about 15, 20 minutes to think about what's my message going to be to the guys when we leave. And my message that night was, we're going to get together on Monday, which was today. We're going to have a film session. We're going to talk about some things. And I want everybody, including myself, including our assistant coaches, to think and look at what you are doing as a player or as a coach in this program, and what are the one or two that you can do better, that you need to do better to help our team become a better team, or help you become a better player, whatever. Because if you become a better player and I become a better player, and that guy becomes a better coach, our team's going to get better. Everything rises.
Yeah.
So and when it came to when I looked at what I have to do, I have to get our guys better prepared for time and score situations late in the game. And we've worked on that. We've practiced it, but we probably haven't practiced it enough. Mm-hmm. We had a few situations late in that Utah game where we didn't handle it. Now, we didn't have timeouts, and we didn't have timeouts because I had to use them to try to squell runs in the second half there. So I'm a coach who likes to save his timeouts, but we didn't have them, and our team wasn't as prepared as they needed to be. And then part of that's trusting our depth. I've got ultimate confidence in KJ, but to play 40 minutes the way you need to play 40 minutes, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And he never wants to come out. Other guys want to come out.
Yeah.
But it'd be one thing if they're getting it done. But if you're not getting it done, then we need to, look at some guys that maybe can help us get it done. And I don't know if that's the answer or not. We'll find out as time goes on. But I've got to do a better job. I do know that.
The Doug Moe line you and I have been talking about here in recent weeks, right? It's road wins minus home losses.
Yep.
Okay? Now, you drop another one on the road. Makes these home games that much more important. You got a big series this weekend with Arizona State and Arizona.
Yeah, big series. There's no doubt. And I'm not giving, I still think, we got, 8 games left?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to figure out a way to beat Arizona State, which they're struggling right now, and then we know Arizona's the class of the league coming in here first place. Got to be ready for them, and then I really believe this team can get hot. We got to get healthy, but we get healthy, we'll get hot down the stretch and start playing and start committing to doing the things we were talking about earlier, and get on a run, because this is a long season and we've been through it before. So every team has struggles. And every league, you look in every league and you look at the standings, and they're jumbled up, and there's so much parity in college basketball. So, but we're the ones that have to dig ourselves out of this, Mark. When nobody's going to do it for us, and certainly nobody's going to feel sorry for us. So the time is now, holding serve at home is paramount. And then we have 4 road games left, and to me, we can. There's not one of them we can't win.
Head coach Tad Boyle at Corelli's for Buffs Primetime after the loss in Salt Lake City to the Utes. This week, the Buffs have got a Thursday nighter with Arizona State, and then Saturday, big one with the Arizona Wildcats coming to town. Coming up next, we're talking with sophomore guard Javon Ruffin here in the Buffalo Stampede.
Ruffin left side for three, right between the eyes from downtown, and Javon Ruffin off the bench knocks down a shot from us. Give it off to Javon Ruffin, comes off a high screen, turns a corner, jump shot from 17 is up and good by Javon Ruffin. So another foreign player. Backdoor cut, Ruffin down the paint, caught it, got it hooked on his hip.
Well, those are highlights we didn't expect to see this season. Javon Ruffin was expected to miss the entire year with a knee injury, but had a miraculous comeback and is on the court for the Buffaloes. Back here in the Buffalo Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, here at Corelli's Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. We're out here for Buffs Primetime. The sophomore guard out of New Orleans joined us talking about his comeback and what to expect from this team the rest of the year.
If you were such a great story this season, just getting back in the court, I don't know what your expectations were. You know, in my role, I didn't think you were going to get back this season at all. Kind of take everyone through your off season and when you kind of figured, you know what, maybe I can play this season.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't very long before I was playing.
Is that right?
I mean, my whole goal was to get through the season, or to get through the season in rehab and be ready for the next season. And I mean, I stayed on top of it, did what I had to, and just happened to be healing fast enough, so they put me out there.
When did you have the procedure? And you can tell everyone exactly what they did for you.
Yeah, so I had dislocated my kneecap a couple times. I had.
You say that so just like it's no big deal. I dislocated my kneecap a couple of times.
Unfortunately, it's been 4.
Is
But
it really?
We're done. We're done now.
Wow.
We're done with that.
Man, oh man.
But yeah, so I had the procedure in April. Wasn't able to do much for probably about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
And then I really got back to rehab and lifting, and then slowly got working into the court and stuff, and then got back.
I don't want to bring back any bad memories, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. When you say I dislocated my kneecap, what does that feel like? What happens?
It doesn't feel good.
I bet not. Yes. Yeah.
My kneecap kind of rolled to the outside.
Okay.
And then the second 2 times it happened, it kind of popped back into place on its own.
Right.
And that actually hurts worse than when it stays out
Geez,
somehow.
Man, holy cow.
But yeah, that's what damaged a little bit of cartilage behind my kneecap.
Okay.
So I had to get that fixed, and I had to get a ligament repaired.
Right.
But it's good now. Surgery went well, healing's well. So
this team right now, what's your view of this team, your take about this group of guys, and why you're optimistic down the stretch of the season?
I said this earlier, said this before the season. This is probably the most talented team that I've ever been a part of. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, we've had our growing pains, but they should be over soon.
Yeah, a big series coming up this weekend, right? I mean, defend home court, Arizona State Thursday, Arizona on Saturday. We all know what that means. You guys have got a great challenge ahead of you.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, it's a good games. These are guys that I know, people from home, so it's always fun to play the Arizona schools, and they're a good team. So It gives us an opportunity to do something that we haven't. We lost Arizona last game. Now it's a chance to
rebound,
to make up for it, both of them.
Man, it's great to see Javon Ruffin back in the court for the Buffaloes as they get ready now for Arizona State coming up on Thursday night, 6 o'clock at the Event Center. Coming up next in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking golf. This young man has been on fire on the golf course for the Buffaloes. We'll talk with Tucker Clark coming up next. Back in the Buffalo Stampede, here in the IPF, had track and field, in fact, here in the IPF last week. Colorado Invitational, indoor season progressing, outdoor season still to come. I know there's snow on the ground, but yeah, we're talking golfing. Believe it or not, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, Tucker Clark joining us, junior for the Buffaloes. Well, what are you doing in the snow outside? How are you guys working out?
You know, we just, do make the most of what we can.
Yeah. Go to California. That's what you do.
Go to California. Yeah, exactly. So LA this last week it was great. So we got a little swing of a trip over there. So got to play some good courses. We were out there for about I'd say 9 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got some good work in and got prepped for the tournament and good to go. Yeah.
You shot yourself a 63 in that tournament. Ties a school record, by the way. And you didn't know it at the time.
I had no idea, yeah. So I got a text from Rick George probably I didn't even see his text until I was in the car on the way back. So I got a text about 30 minutes after I got done. I had no idea about anything until I got in the car, which is kind of funny. And then I got a text from Dave, and Dave was like, hey, I need to hear a couple words from you, record-breaking 63, I was like, holy crap, this is a big deal. So
now, obviously, you knew he shot a 63.
Yes,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
So I had no idea what the school record was. You know, I was just out there playing golf. I guess our assistant coach, Derek, told my mom that if I birdied the last hole, I would have had the record outright. So the coaches knew, but I had no idea. I was just, you know, trying to stay in the zone. I was locked in all day. You know, I was just trying to make as many birdies as I could.
All right, for us mortals that get out there and hack it around the course, what does a 63 feel like when you're on that kind of roll? You feel like you're, you know, great shooters in basketball, for example. Talk about the basket looks big.
Yeah.
What happens in golf?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect way to describe it. You know, the hole just looks really big. You know, I had 23 putts, which was, you know, amazing. So it felt great. Everything was, you know, just going as I had planned. Didn't drive it particularly great, but I hit my approach shots really well to some tough pins, and just made a lot of putts inside of 15 feet, which was, you know, it's kind of key to a golf round.
Sure.
Things that keep rounds going and help progress things. But yeah, I mean, the hole just felt like it was massive. So it was great. Yeah.
63, that's a really low number. You ended up starting your college career at Notre Dame.
Correct.
And then you came here. You've been here now for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
What brought you to Colorado?
You know, I decided to transfer. I needed to change the scenery. And Coach Edwards was recruiting me before I had gone to Notre Dame initially. So he was on my radar. And so I kind of, as he says, he tells me I gave him a stiff arm the first time. But, you know, I decided to come here the second time, took a visit. Absolutely love the campus. I mean, what's not to like? The Flatirons are amazing. You know, great views. We have great facilities here. You know, we had a really young team at the time I committed, and I knew that we had potential to be really good. You know, last year, you know, I feel like we proved that. We made it to NCAAs, and you know, so I knew what I was stepping into as far as like the team goes, the young core. And I just wanted to be a part of it. You know, I wanted to try to help out as best as I could, you know, whatever that may be. So it, you know, it's been amazing here so far, and I've loved it.
Where's golf come from in your family? Parents golfers?
My dad's a golfer, yeah. So I originally got into golf. My dad is a Thunderbird, helps put on the Phoenix Open, which is this week. So, you know, he was tournament chairman in 2012 and got me to do the standard bearer. So one of the kids that holds the sign, walking leaderboard, and I standard beared for a guy named Ricky Fowler, who at the time was a young guy on tour. I think it was his second or third pro event, and he talked to me the whole day, and I wanted to be like Ricky Fowler. And so from then on, I just kind of took it and ran with it.
Great stuff. You got a tournament coming up in about a week and a half or so.
Week and a half, yeah. Wyoming match play.
That's right.
Yeah.
Except you're not going to go to Laramie for that.
Yeah, we're not going to Laramie. We'll be in Palm Desert. Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if your kids are good athletes, make them golfers. This is mine right here. Hey, keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Junior Tucker Clark for the CU golf team. That'll wrap up this week's Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.